What if George Washington had lost the Revolutionary War? What if America never became America? What if George Washington, the symbol of American defiance and liberty, had lost the Revolutionary War? No stars and stripes. No Declaration of Independence. No United States of America. Instead, a continent ruled by the British Crown, where revolution was crushed before it truly began. Today we're exploring the terrifying and fascinating alternate reality of a world where Washington failed and freedom never found its voice. Let's rewind to 1776. The colonies are in open rebellion. George Washington leads a ragtag army against the most powerful military force on Earth, the British Empire. In our timeline, Washington's leadership, sheer determination, and key French support turned the tide. But what if he failed? What if the Continental Army was crushed at Valley Forge or destroyed in New York? What if Benedict Arnold's betrayal worked? Or what if the French never joined the fight? In this alternate world, the rebellion is extinguished. Washington is captured, or worse. The leaders of the revolution, including Jefferson, Adams, Franklin, and Hamilton, are arrested and tried for treason. America's founding dream ends not in triumph, but in chains. Without victory, the colonies remain British. The 13 colonies never unify. The concept of the United States never exists. The Boston Tea Party is remembered not as defiance, but as criminal destruction of property. The Declaration of Independence is banned literature. And George Washington? A failed rebel general remembered in British textbooks as a cautionary tale. The colonies remain economic engines of the empire, heavily taxed, tightly controlled, and politically voiceless. Expansion westward is restricted by royal decree. Indigenous nations retain more land, at least for a while, as colonial ambitions are curbed by London's distant hand. There's no manifest destiny, no Oregon Trail, no Wild West. Without American independence, there's no Constitution, no Bill of Rights, no radical experiment in democracy that inspired revolutions around the world. Monarchies across Europe feel safer, unchallenged by a Republican firestorm. Democracy itself evolves more slowly. The American example, the idea that ordinary people could overthrow a king and rule themselves, never exists. The French Revolution may be weakened or delayed. Latin American independence movements may never ignite. The ripple effect is global. The 19th century becomes a century of empires, not liberty. In this alternate reality, slavery remains legal far longer. The British Empire didn't abolish slavery until 1833, but without U.S. pressure or the Civil War, the institution could persist in the colonies deep into the 19th century. The abolitionist movement might remain small and powerless, viewed as radicals within a loyalist society. And without the United States leading future civil rights progress, global struggles for equality are stunted. Figures like Frederick Douglass, Martin Luther King Jr., and Rosa Parks may never emerge, or if they do, they fight in a far more oppressive system. Fast forward to the 20th century. Without a United States, the global balance of power shifts dramatically. There's no American industrial boom, no rise to superpower status. World War I and II still happen, but without U.S. intervention, the outcomes change. Could Britain defeat Germany alone in 2 world wars? Unlikely. Maybe Nazi Germany survives. Maybe the Soviet Union dominates Europe. Maybe Japan's empire stretches unopposed across the Pacific. The Cold War? Maybe it's a cold world under authoritarian rule. And there's no Marshall Plan, no NATO, no moon landing, no Silicon Valley revolution. The American dream never becomes a global ideal, because America never became the land of opportunity. Without independence, what does it mean to be American? Do the people of the former colonies consider themselves British, colonial subjects, Something else entirely. There's no 4th of July. No national anthem. No Uncle Sam. English remains dominant, but regional accents and cultures diverge even further. Maybe Canada and the American colonies unify under one flag. Maybe North America becomes a patchwork of semi-independent regions like Australia and New Zealand. Culturally, the ripple is massive. No Hollywood, no jazz, blues, or hip-hop shaping the sound of the world. No American authors like Mark Twain, no comic books, no Marvel, no McDonald's, no Apple. The soul of the 20th century, powered by American culture, never forms. But beyond borders and wars, the greatest loss might be symbolic. America, for all its flaws, has always represented possibility. The idea that a nation could be born not from bloodlines, but from beliefs, freedom, democracy, and self-rule. Without that idea, the world is colder, more hierarchical, less hopeful. In a world where Washington failed, liberty didn't just lose a war, it lost its loudest voice. So what if George Washington had lost the Revolutionary War? We wouldn't just lose a country, we'd lose a revolution that changed the world. A nation built on boldness and belief. A flawed, complicated, but powerful beacon for freedom. And in its place, silence, obedience, a world still ruled by crowns, not people. History is fragile. One failure, one bullet, one lost battle, and everything could have been different. If this alternate history shook you, share it. Subscribe for more powerful what-ifs that explore the forgotten paths of history. Drop your thoughts in the comments. What moment in American history do you wonder about? Let's imagine the world. If just one thing had gone differently.